Back to Finity. A federal judge today temporarily blocking the Trump administration from revoking Harvard University's ability to enroll international students as the Trump administration cracks down on anti-Semitism on campus and many other reasons for doing something like this. Joining us now for more is White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. Stephen, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
What is the Trump administration planning to do to deal with the judicial tyranny that's paralyzing the Trump administration right now?
Well, that's the right word to use, of course. Tyranny. Judicial tyranny. This is a judicial coup by communist Marxist judges against the laws, Constitution, and democracy of the United States. The American people held an election, voted overwhelmingly in a landslide, in a historic mandate, to deliver sovereignty and security and homeland defense to this nation. We also have a toxic stew of extreme anti-Semitism, anti-Americanism, Marxism, and communism on our college campuses, aided and abetted by foreign nationals imported into this country, spreading American hate on our soil, on our college campuses. And now, in a matter of hours, literally, a lawsuit is filed, and hours later, a communist district court judge says that foreign nationals living in foreign countries have a constitutional right to study in America, that we have to let communists from foreign nations into our country to poison our campuses with Marxist ideas, anti-Semitic ideas, anti-American ideas, Jew hatred. That's a constitutional right now?
Right.
This is madness.
Is this limited to Harvard?
We have a duty to keep this nation safe.
Is this just limited to Harvard University, or are other schools on the list as well?
Well, by implication, if you get this ruling, this relief for Harvard, that means any university that tolerates extremism, anti-Semitism, anti-American, and these other poisonous ideologies would have the same right to bring foreigners to their campuses to participate in these activities. Immigration to this country is a privilege. We have the absolute right as a nation and as a people to deny the entry to anyone seeking to enter this country in order to protect the foreign policy, the national security, but also the well-being and domestic tranquility of this country. We don't need to be importing these toxic, radical, poisonous ideologies into our country. We need zero anti-American immigration. We need zero foreigners coming to this country who don't love America, who don't love our founders, who don't love our Constitution, who don't love our people, who don't love our society. You also have a tyrannical judicial ruling that has imprisoned our ICE officers and 8 murderers in Djibouti. Are you following this, Rob? President Trump, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Defense and Justice and State worked together to remove from this country 8 of the most heinous and violent murderers and child rapists in the entire United States. All illegal alien, all convicted by a jury, all sentenced to jail, all have had years and years and years of due process, all with final orders of removal from an immigration court. Key word there, final.
Right.
As in absolute, as in finished, as in complete, as in done. And they were being deported safely and humanely, more than they deserve, by the way, rapists and child rapists and murderers, to a country that was willing to accept them. And a local judge in Boston ordered the flight grounded and has now trapped ICE officers in Djibouti with these savage monsters, having to guard and protect them 24/7 in a location with no appropriate facilities, no detention space, no detention beds, nothing, putting their lives in line. They have to watch them 24/7. There aren't enough resources in the location to ensure the safety of these ICE officers. Is this judge mad? Is this a lunatic? What kind of world are we even living in where we're even having this conversation?
Yeah.
Illegal aliens who invaded our country and murdered our people, and now we're sending them out? And a judge says no? That is a judicial coup by any definition.
I want to ask you, Trump 1.0, the first administration, tried to exclude illegal aliens from the census. The administration wasn't successful. Will you try to exclude all of these illegal aliens that have come into this country over the last 4 years from the 2030 census that this current administration will control and operate?
Yes, absolutely. And the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, is passionate about this issue. He's taken leadership on it, and he's going to do everything he can to clean up the census and make sure that illegal aliens are not counted. Of course, the best form of exclusion for illegal aliens is to exclude them from the country completely by sending them back home, which is what the American people elected President Trump to do and what we are doing. But again, you have a handful of judges elected by nobody sitting in local cities and communities claiming that they can rule over the foreign policy, national security, and defense of the entire United States, to micromanage the activities of our Defense Department, of our federal immigration officers, of our cabinet secretaries. In other words, judges who will claim the powers of a king, all for the purpose of the mass importation of illegal aliens. The Democrat Party has as its highest focus, its orienting, overwhelming mission, the mass importation of illegal aliens into this country, mass third-world migration. That is what the entire Democratic Party now serves and exists for, not the American people.
To vote for Democrats. Just a quick one on the Biden cover-up of the health cover-up at the White House. We learned today that James Comer and the Oversight Committee might call White House doctor Kevin O'Connor to testify. If he does testify and he perjures himself, will you call for the revocation of his medical license?
Well, first of all, it's a crime to lie to Congress. So we would certainly encourage the doctor to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Every word of it. What did you know? When did you know it? What did you hide? What did you conceal? Who else helped you hide it? Who else helped you conceal it? Who else participated in this conspiracy, this cover-up, this crime against the American people? By the way, this crime, like so many others, was committed by the Democratic Party for the purpose of protecting their personal power and control over this country. Every crime they've committed as a party, as an institution, going back to the Russia hoax for 10 years now, has been about trying to keep President Trump out of office, to keep the American people from having a democracy, to keep the citizens of this country from controlling their own future.
And how'd that work out for him? White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, great to see you. Thanks so much.